David's story begins with his two young daughters, Lila and Milda, innocent. Their hopeful eyes and unspoken worry reflect the unshakable bond of family. No one could have predicted what happened to David Walton. On the surface, David was the epitome of success, a tech billionaire with a thriving business empire, two beautiful daughters, Lila and Milda, and a luxurious lifestyle. His achievements in the tech industry were the talk of the town, and his name was synonymous with innovation and prosperity. Yet beneath this facade of perfection, David harbored a deep-seated pain. The tragic loss of his wife in a plane accident had left an indelible mark on his heart, but he had managed to shield his daughters from the grief, ensuring they never felt the absence of their mother. However, life has a way of introducing unforeseen challenges. One ordinary morning, as David sifted through a stack of reports in his sprawling office, he received a call that would change everything. The medical report he had been anxiously awaiting was finally in. His liver had ceased functioning properly. The diagnosis was grim. David was suffering from a severe liver condition that threatened his life. The news hit him like a bolt of lightning. Suddenly, the responsibilities he juggled daily seemed even more overwhelming, and the future he had meticulously planned began to unravel. As the reality of his illness set in, David felt a profound sense of despair. The empire he had built with relentless hard work now felt fragile, teetering on the brink of collapse. The dual pressures of managing his business and dealing with his deteriorating health created a suffocating environment. He found himself sleepless at night, haunted by the fear of losing everything he had worked so hard to achieve. His daughters, still young and dependent, required his attention and care, adding to the mounting stress. The absence of his wife, once a source of comfort, now amplified his loneliness and anxiety. In the midst of this turmoil, David began to contemplate his future and the legacy he would leave behind. The thought of his daughters growing up without a father weighed heavily on him. He knew he needed support, not just for his business, but for his personal life as well. It was during one of these moments of introspection that an idea began to form, a solution that, while unconventional, seemed promising in his desperate state. David turned his attention to Quinn, his dedicated secretary. Quinn was more than just an employee. She was the backbone of his daily operations, handling everything with efficiency and grace. Her intelligence, compassion, and unwavering loyalty had not gone unnoticed. David admired her ability to maintain calm amidst chaos and her genuine concern for his daughters. The more he thought about it, the more he realized that Quinn could be the stabilizing force he needed during this difficult period. As days turned into weeks, David's condition worsened, and so did the challenges he faced. The looming threat of his illness cast a dark shadow over his life, making every decision more critical and every day more uncertain. The once vibrant and confident tech mogul now found himself grappling with fears and doubts he had never encountered before. It was clear that something drastic needed to change to prevent his world from falling apart. With Quinn's support becoming increasingly vital, David decided to take a bold step. He believed that integrating Quinn more deeply into his personal life could provide the stability and companionship he desperately needed. Little did he know, this decision would set off a chain of events that would redefine his life and the lives of those around him. The stage was set for a journey filled with love, challenges, and unexpected twists, all beginning with the simple yet profound realization that he could no longer navigate his struggles alone. David Walton had always been a man of immense responsibility. As the CEO of a leading tech company, he was no stranger to the pressures and demands of running a successful business. His days were filled with meetings, strategic planning sessions, and overseeing numerous projects that kept his company at the forefront of the industry. Yet, with his recent diagnosis, the weight of these responsibilities had become almost unbearable. The once exhilarating challenges now felt like insurmountable obstacles threatening to topple his empire. At home, David's role as a father was equally demanding. His daughters, Lila and Milda, were bright and spirited, each with their own unique personalities and needs. Lila, the elder, was a budding artist with a penchant for creativity, while Milda was an avid reader with a curious mind. Both girls were thriving in school, thanks in no small part to David's unwavering support and the silent strength he provided. Despite his own struggles, David ensured that their lives remained as normal and joyful as possible, never allowing the shadow of their mother's death to cast a pall over their happiness. Balancing his deteriorating health with his professional and personal obligations was proving to be an increasingly daunting task. David found himself constantly exhausted, his energy sapped by the relentless demands of his illness and the relentless pace of his work. The nights were the hardest, filled with restless sleep and racing thoughts about the future. The fear of leaving his daughters without a father and his company without his leadership gnawed at him incessantly. In the midst of this chaos, David began to scrutinize every aspect of his life, searching for a solution to alleviate the mounting pressures. It was during one of these late-night reflections that his thoughts repeatedly returned to Quinn, his dedicated secretary. Quinn had been with him for several years, and her presence had become indispensable. She was not only efficient and competent, but also showed a genuine concern for his well-being and that of his daughters. Her ability to manage the intricacies of his professional life with ease allowed David some semblance of normalcy amidst the turmoil. The more David thought about it, the more he realized that Quinn could play a pivotal role in his life beyond her current position. He admired her intelligence, her ability to stay composed under pressure, and most importantly, her kindness. David had always appreciated Quinn's unwavering support, but now, facing the very real possibility of losing his health and consequently his life's work, he saw her as a potential partner who could help him navigate the turbulent waters ahead. However, the idea of changing Quinn's role from a professional to a personal one was fraught with complexity. It wasn't just about finding someone to share his burdens. It was about ensuring that his daughters would be cared for and that his business would continue to thrive even in his absence. David knew that proposing such a significant change to Quinn could alter the dynamics of their relationship, potentially creating tension or discomfort. Yet, the pressing nature of his situation left him with little choice. The burden of responsibility weighed heavily on him, pushing him to consider options he had never before entertained. As the days passed, David's condition continued to decline, and so did his ability to manage his sprawling business empire. The stress took a toll on his health, making it clear that he could no longer maintain the demanding pace he had set for himself. The realization that he might not be able to sustain his responsibilities without assistance was both terrifying and humbling. It was clear that he needed to act swiftly to secure his legacy and ensure the well-being of his daughters. With Quinn increasingly on his mind, David began to formulate a plan. He contemplated how to approach her with his proposal, weighing the potential benefits against the risks. The idea of involving Quinn in his personal life as more than just an employee was both exciting and nerve-wracking. Yet the alternative, facing his challenges alone, seemed even more daunting. Determined to find a way forward, David prepared himself to take the next crucial step, hoping that Quinn would understand the depth of his need and the sincerity of his intentions. One crisp autumn afternoon, David found himself alone in his expansive office, the golden hues of the setting sun casting a warm glow through the floor-to-ceiling windows. The office, usually bustling with activity, was quiet, giving him a rare moment of solitude to reflect on his predicament. His thoughts kept circling back to Quinn, his ever-dedicated secretary whose competence and grace under pressure had become a beacon of stability in his chaotic life. David watched as Quinn moved about the office, her focus unwavering despite the mounting pressures they both faced. She was in the midst of coordinating a major project launch, her fingers flying over the keyboard with practiced ease. There was a certain elegance in her efficiency that David found both admirable and reassuring. Her ability to handle complex tasks with such finesse was one of the many reasons he had come to rely on her so heavily. As he observed her, an idea began to take root in David's mind, an idea that had been forming slowly but steadily. He realized that Quinn could be the cornerstone he needed to rebuild his life amidst the crumbling edifice of his health and business woes. Her intelligence, coupled with her compassionate nature, made her an ideal candidate to step into a more significant role in his life. The thought of proposing marriage to Quinn was both exhilarating and terrifying, but the desperation of his situation left him with little choice. David contemplated the logistics of such a proposal. It wasn't just about finding someone to share his burdens. It was about creating a new family dynamic that could support his daughters and ensure the continuity of his business. Quinn's presence would not only provide the emotional support he needed, but also bring a level of organization and care that could help stabilize his personal and professional life. The more he thought about it, the more feasible the idea seemed, despite its unconventional nature. Gathering his thoughts, David decided to take action. He approached Quinn with a newfound resolve, intending to discuss his feelings and propose a significant change to their relationship. The timing felt right. Quinn had been particularly diligent lately, taking on additional responsibilities to help manage the growing demands of the business. Her dedication had not gone unnoticed, and David felt that the moment was ripe to express his gratitude in a profound and meaningful way. As he prepared to speak to Quinn, David rehearsed his words, trying to strike the right balance between professionalism and personal sincerity. He knew that this conversation could redefine their relationship, for better or worse. The fear of rejection loomed large, but so did the hope that Quinn might understand the depth of his need and the genuine care he had developed for her over the years. When Quinn approached his desk with the latest project updates, David took a deep breath, steadying himself for what was to come. He looked into her eyes, seeing not just a capable employee, but a person who had become integral to his daily life. With a mixture of nervousness and determination, he began to articulate his thoughts, laying bare his vulnerabilities and the reasons behind his bold proposal. It was a pivotal moment, one that held the promise of transformation and the potential to bring much-needed stability to his tumultuous world. David's heart raced as he stood up, motioning for Quinn to join him in his office. The air was thick with anticipation, the weight of the impending conversation palpable. Quinn, sensing the seriousness in David's demeanor, approached with a mix of curiosity and concern. Her eyes reflected her dedication, but there was also a hint of apprehension, as if she could sense that this meeting was about to change everything. "Quinn," David began, his voice steady despite the turmoil within him, "I want to talk to you about something important." He paused, searching her face for any sign of hesitation. "You've been an invaluable part of my life and this company. Your dedication, intelligence, and kindness have not only kept everything running smoothly, but have also brought a sense of stability that I desperately need right now." Quinn listened attentively, her expression attentive and open. David took a deep breath, gathering his courage. "Given everything that's been happening, my health issues, the pressures of the business, and the responsibility of raising Lila and Milda, I believe it's time to consider a more permanent solution. I want to offer you a position beyond your current role. I would like to marry you and have you become a part of my family." The room seemed to grow still, the words hanging in the air between them. Quinn's eyes widened slightly, a mixture of surprise and uncertainty crossing her face. "David, this is unexpected," she replied softly, her mind racing to process the magnitude of his proposal. David continued, "I understand that this is a lot to take in, and it's not a decision I make lightly. But I believe that with you by my side, we can create a stable and loving environment for my daughters. You are not only incredibly capable, but also genuinely caring. I want to share my life with you, to ensure that my daughters have the support they need and that the company remains in good hands." Quinn took a moment to absorb his words, her thoughts a whirlwind of emotions. She had always admired David's resilience and dedication, but the idea of marrying him was something she had never anticipated. "David, I am deeply honored by your proposal and the trust you place in me. "This is a significant step, and I need time to think about it," she responded, her voice tinged with both gratitude and uncertainty. David nodded, understanding the gravity of her response. "Of course. Take all the time you need. I just wanted to be honest about how I feel and what I believe could help us all move forward together." As Quinn left the office, David felt a mix of hope and anxiety. He had laid his heart bare, but the future was still uncertain. The days that followed were filled with anticipation, as both of them navigated the complexities of this new proposition. David couldn't help but feel that this was the spark of hope he so desperately needed, a chance to rebuild his life and secure a future for his daughters that was filled with love and stability. Quinn sat at her desk, her mind reeling from David's unexpected proposal. The idea of marrying him had never crossed her mind before, and the weight of his offer left her feeling overwhelmed. She valued her professional relationship with David deeply, appreciating his leadership and the trust he placed in her. However, the personal implications of his proposal were something she had never anticipated and found herself grappling with conflicting emotions. As the hours passed, Quinn struggled to reconcile her professional admiration for David with her own feelings and aspirations. She respected him immensely, recognizing the immense pressure he was under and the genuine care he showed for his daughters. Yet, the prospect of becoming part of his family was daunting. She had always been independent, carving out her own path, and the idea of intertwining her life so closely with David's felt both unexpected and intimidating. Finally, Quinn decided that she needed to address the situation head-on. She requested a private meeting with David, hoping to clarify her feelings and the reasons behind her reluctance. When they sat down together, Quinn took a deep breath, summoning the courage to speak her truth. "David, I am truly honored by your proposal and the faith you have in me. You've been more than just a boss. You've been a mentor and a friend. But this is something I need to decline." David felt a pang of disappointment but appreciated her honesty. "I understand, Quinn. It's a lot to take in, and I didn't mean to put you in an uncomfortable position." Quinn continued, "I care about you and your daughters deeply, and I want to support you in any way I can. But marriage is a significant commitment, and I believe it's best if we keep our relationship professional. I don't want to risk our working relationship or make things awkward between us." David nodded, though a sense of loss settled in. "I respect your decision, Quinn. I just wanted to express how much you mean to me and how much I value your presence in my life." Quinn smiled gently, hoping to ease the tension. "Thank you for understanding, David. Let's continue to work together to navigate these challenging times." However, the conversation left a lingering tension between them. Quinn found it difficult to return to her usual work rhythm, the rejection still fresh in her mind. Her once effortless focus was now tinged with discomfort, and the dynamics of their professional relationship had undeniably shifted. As days turned into weeks, Quinn's behavior became increasingly distant. She started taking longer breaks, her once meticulous work now marred by subtle lapses in concentration. David noticed the change immediately. Quinn, who had always been the epitome of dedication, was now often distracted, her mind seemingly elsewhere. He tried to reach out, offering support and reassurance, but Quinn remained guarded. The rift between them widened, creating an undercurrent of tension that was palpable to everyone in the office. One particularly stressful day, Quinn reached her breaking point. Overwhelmed by the lingering awkwardness and the increasing demands of her role, she made a sudden decision. "I'm sorry, David, but I think it's best if I leave the company," she announced, her voice steady but laced with emotion. David was taken aback. "Quinn, please don't do this. We need you more than ever." But Quinn was resolute. "I need to find my own path and process everything that has happened. I hope you understand." With that, she handed in her resignation, leaving David and the entire office in a state of shock. The absence of Quinn, who had been the cornerstone of his daily operations, left a void that was immediately felt. David was now left to grapple with not only his worsening health, but also the loss of someone he had come to rely on so deeply. The mounting pressures seemed insurmountable, and David realized that he had lost more than just a valuable employee. He had lost a potential partner who could have helped him navigate the darkest times of his life. In the weeks that followed Quinn's departure, David struggled to maintain his usual composure. The absence of her efficiency and support had a noticeable impact on both his business operations and his personal life. Meetings were more chaotic, decisions took longer, and the stress of managing everything without Quinn's help became increasingly overwhelming. David felt the weight of his responsibilities pressing down on him harder than ever before, and his health continued to decline. Desperate to restore some semblance of normalcy, David decided that he couldn't afford to let his emotions get the better of him any longer. He knew he needed Quinn back, not just for the business, but for the emotional support she had provided. Determined to mend their fractured relationship, David reached out to Quinn, requesting a meeting to discuss their situation. Quinn, still reeling from the abrupt end to her tenure at the company, was hesitant, but agreed to meet. They chose a quiet cafe, away from the hustle and bustle of the office, hoping to find a space where they could speak openly and honestly. As they sat across from each other, the air was thick with unresolved emotions and unspoken words. "Quinn," David began, his voice earnest and filled with regret, "I want you to know how much I appreciate everything you've done for me and the company. Losing you has been incredibly hard, and I realize now how much I need you, not just professionally, but personally." Quinn listened, her expression softening as she saw the genuine pain in David's eyes. "David, I left because I felt overwhelmed and unsure of how to handle everything that happened. It wasn't just about the proposal, it was about feeling lost and not knowing how to move forward." David reached out, placing a hand gently on hers. "I understand, and I'm truly sorry if I pressured you or made you feel uncomfortable. My intentions were never to cause you distress. I was simply searching for support in a time when I felt I had none." Quinn took a deep breath, the tension in her shoulders easing slightly. "I've seen how much you're struggling, and I care about you and your daughters. Maybe I was too hasty in leaving. Perhaps there's a way I can help without us taking such a drastic step." David's eyes lit up with hope. "I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make things right, Quinn. Your presence means more to me than you might realize." The conversation continued, both of them opening up about their fears, regrets, and the deep-seated emotions that had been simmering beneath the surface. Quinn shared her struggles with the sudden proposal and her subsequent decision to leave, while David confessed how his health and the pressures of his life had clouded his judgment. By the end of their meeting, a sense of understanding and mutual respect had been reestablished. Quinn agreed to return to her role, albeit with new boundaries and a clearer understanding of their professional and personal dynamics. David, in turn, promised to be more considerate and supportive, recognizing the importance of maintaining a healthy balance between his personal desires and professional obligations. Their renewed collaboration brought a fresh wave of energy to the office. With Quinn back at the helm, David felt a renewed sense of purpose and stability. The bond they shared, now tempered with honesty and mutual respect, provided the foundation needed to face the challenges ahead. As they worked together to rebuild what had been lost, both David and Quinn realized that their relationship, though tested, had the potential to grow stronger than ever before. With Quinn's return to the company, a renewed sense of purpose and harmony began to take root. David felt an immense weight lift off his shoulders as Quinn seamlessly resumed her role, her presence infusing the office with a sense of order and efficiency that had been sorely missed. Their professional relationship, once strained by the emotional complexities of David's proposal, was slowly healing, rebuilding trust and understanding. Quinn's dedication was unwavering. She threw herself into her work, ensuring that all operations ran smoothly despite David's ongoing health struggles. Her ability to manage the myriad tasks with grace and competence provided David with the stability he desperately needed. Meetings became more organized, projects advanced with renewed vigor, and the overall atmosphere in the office improved markedly. Quinn's return was not just a professional boon. It was a personal comfort for David, who found solace in her steady presence. Recognizing the pivotal role Quinn played in both his business and personal life, David decided to make their relationship more formal, albeit without the immediate commitment of marriage. He approached Quinn with a proposal to deepen their partnership, suggesting that they work together to create a support system that would benefit not only him and his daughters, but also the company as a whole. Quinn, having seen the positive impact of her return, agreed to explore this new dynamic, understanding the importance of solidarity in the face of adversity. As they collaborated more closely, the bond between David and Quinn strengthened. Their interactions became more personal, filled with genuine care and mutual respect. David found himself opening up about his fears and vulnerabilities, while Quinn shared her own aspirations and concerns. This newfound openness fostered a deeper connection, laying the groundwork for a relationship built on trust and understanding. David also took steps to involve Quinn more intimately in his personal life. He introduced her to his daughters, Lila and Milda, who quickly grew fond of her. Quinn's natural ability to connect with children shone through, and she became a cherished figure in their lives. The girls adored her, finding in her a second mother who provided the love and attention they needed. This familial bond further solidified the importance of Quinn in David's life, making her an integral part of his support system. To ensure that Quinn felt valued and appreciated, David made several adjustments to her role within the company. He delegated more responsibilities to her, allowing her to take on leadership positions in key projects. This not only empowered Quinn, but also alleviated some of the burdens that had been weighing heavily on David. The streamlined workflow and enhanced team dynamics contributed to a more efficient and productive work environment, benefiting everyone involved. As the weeks turned into months, David's health began to show signs of improvement. The stress that had once seemed insurmountable was now manageable, thanks in large part to Quinn's unwavering support and the strong foundation they had built together. Their relationship, now grounded in mutual respect and shared experiences, had become a source of strength for both of them. One evening, as they sat together discussing the future plans for the company, David looked at Quinn with gratitude. "I can't thank you enough for coming back, Quinn. You've not only saved the company, but also given me the support I needed to get through this tough time." Quinn smiled warmly, her eyes reflecting her sincerity. "We're a team, David. I'm here for you, and we'll get through this together." Their partnership continued to flourish, bringing stability and hope to David's life. The trust they had built served as a solid foundation for the challenges that lay ahead, ensuring that they were prepared to face whatever obstacles came their way. Together, David and Quinn were not just rebuilding a business, they were forging a family united by love, resilience, and unwavering support. As spring blossomed outside, so did the renewed sense of hope within David Walton's life. With Quinn by his side, both professionally and personally, the challenges that once seemed insurmountable began to wane. David's health, though still fragile, showed marked improvement, thanks to the comprehensive care he received and the reduced stress levels brought about by Quinn's support. Quinn had seamlessly integrated herself into the Walton family, becoming a beloved figure to Lila and Milda. Her presence brought a sense of normalcy and joy to the household, allowing the girls to thrive in a stable and nurturing environment. David watched as his daughters flourished under Quinn's care, their laughter echoing through the halls of their home, a stark contrast to the tension and worry that had once pervaded their lives. One sunny afternoon, as the family enjoyed a picnic in the garden, David took a moment to reflect on the journey that had brought them to this point. The struggles, the heartbreak, and the unexpected turns had all led to a new beginning, one filled with love, resilience, and unwavering support. He looked around at his family, feeling a profound sense of gratitude for the people who had stood by him through thick and thin. At work, the atmosphere was equally positive. With Quinn taking on a more significant leadership role, the company thrived. Innovative projects were launched with confidence, and the team operated with a newfound sense of unity and purpose. David felt a sense of pride as he watched his company grow, knowing that Quinn's influence had been a crucial factor in their success. The synergy between them had not only stabilized the business, but also paved the way for future growth and innovation. Despite the progress, David remained vigilant about his health. Regular checkups and a balanced lifestyle had become integral parts of his routine, ensuring that he stayed on the path to recovery. Quinn encouraged him to prioritize his well-being, often reminding him to take breaks and manage his stress levels effectively. Her gentle reminders and unwavering support were instrumental in helping David maintain a positive outlook, even on the toughest days. One evening, as the family gathered for dinner, David felt a surge of emotion. He realized that the bond he shared with Quinn had grown into something much deeper than he had initially anticipated. The trust and respect between them had evolved into a profound love, one that was rooted in shared experiences and mutual support. It was a love that transcended the conventional boundaries of their relationship, creating a unique and unbreakable connection. Feeling the need to express his gratitude, David decided to have a heartfelt conversation with Quinn. He took her aside, away from the laughter and chatter of the dinner table, and looked into her eyes with sincerity. "Quinn, I want you to know how much you mean to me and my family. Your presence has brought so much light into our lives, and I can't imagine where we'd be without you." Quinn smiled softly, touched by his words. "David, it's been a journey, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. We've been through so much together, and I'm happy to support you and your family in any way I can." David reached out, taking her hand in his. "I know things have been complicated, but I want you to know that my feelings for you have grown beyond just professional respect. You've become an essential part of my life, and I cherish every moment we've spent together." Quinn felt her heart swell with emotion. "David, I care about you and your daughters deeply. You've given me a sense of purpose and belonging that I never knew I needed. I'm here for you, always." In that moment, the barriers between them melted away, leaving only the raw and genuine connection they shared. It was the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one where love, trust, and mutual respect would guide them through whatever the future held. Together, they embraced the promise of a new beginning, ready to face the world with unwavering support and an unbreakable bond. As the months passed, David's health continued its steady improvement, a testament to his resilience and the unwavering support he received from Quinn and his family. The once constant worry that clouded his mind began to lift, replaced by a cautious optimism about the future. His liver function tests showed significant improvement, and the doctors were optimistic about his continued recovery. The dark days of fear and uncertainty were gradually giving way to brighter, more hopeful times. Quinn played an integral role in David's recovery process. Her presence was a constant source of comfort, providing both emotional and practical support. She ensured that David adhered to his treatment plan, reminding him of his medications and accompanying him to doctor's appointments. Her attention to detail and genuine concern for his well-being made a profound difference in his healing journey. David found solace in knowing that Quinn was always there, ready to help in any way she could. At home, the atmosphere was filled with laughter and love. Lila and Milda thrived under Quinn's care, their bond with her growing stronger each day. They enjoyed their school activities, extracurricular pursuits, and quiet evenings spent together as a family. The absence of their mother was still felt, but Quinn's nurturing presence helped fill the void, providing them with the love and attention they needed to grow into happy, well-adjusted individuals. One afternoon, as David sat in his office reviewing the latest project updates, Quinn entered with a bright smile. "David, the doctors have some good news. Your latest tests show that your liver function has improved significantly. You're on the right path to full recovery." David felt a surge of relief and gratitude. "That's fantastic news, Quinn. Thank you for everything you've done." Quinn nodded, her eyes shining with happiness. "It's a team effort, David. You've been strong, and we've all been here to support you." The positive news from the doctors not only boosted David's morale, but also reinforced the importance of the support system he had built around him. With Quinn's unwavering assistance and the love of his family, David felt more confident about facing the challenges ahead. The progress he was making in his health mirrored the growth and stability of his personal and professional life, creating a harmonious balance that he had longed for. As David's health improved, so did the company's performance. The projects under Quinn's leadership flourished, and the team operated with a renewed sense of purpose and enthusiasm. The once overwhelming pressures of managing the business had become manageable, thanks to Quinn's efficient management and the strong foundation they had built together. David found himself more engaged and optimistic, his passion for his work rekindled by the positive changes happening around him. One evening, as the family gathered in the living room, David took a moment to reflect on the incredible journey they had been through. He looked around at his daughters and Quinn, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for the love and support that surrounded him. It was a stark contrast to the lonely and stressful days of his illness, a testament to the power of resilience and the importance of having a strong support system. Quinn approached David, her eyes filled with warmth and affection. "You've come so far, David. It's been a remarkable journey." David smiled, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment and hope. "We all have. I couldn't have done it without you." Quinn reached out, taking his hand gently. "We're a team, David, and we'll continue to support each other, no matter what comes our way." Their partnership had weathered the storm, emerging stronger and more resilient than ever before. The signs of recovery were not just physical, but also emotional and professional, marking the beginning of a new era filled with promise and possibility. Together, David and Quinn looked forward to a future where challenges were met with courage and love, confident in their ability to overcome anything that came their way. One serene evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, David found himself reflecting on the incredible journey he had undertaken. The days of fear, uncertainty, and overwhelming pressure seemed like a distant memory, replaced by a newfound sense of peace and gratitude. Sitting in his study, he contemplated the profound changes that had reshaped his life and the people who had stood by him through it all. Quinn entered the room, her presence as comforting as ever. She carried a warm smile, sensing the contemplative mood that enveloped David. "You've been quiet tonight," she observed, taking a seat beside him. David turned to her, his eyes filled with emotion. "I've been thinking about everything we've been through and how much has changed. Your support has been invaluable, and I can't imagine where I'd be without you." Quinn reached out, placing her hand over his. "We've been through a lot together, and we've grown so much because of it. I'm grateful to be here with you and your family." Their conversation was interrupted by a soft chime, the notification of a bank transfer. David glanced at his phone, recognizing Quinn's name in his notifications. Curious, he opened the message to find that Quinn had initiated a transfer of $30 million into his account. Perplexed, David looked up at Quinn, confusion evident on his face. "Quinn, why did you transfer such a large sum of money?" Quinn took a deep breath, her expression resolute yet gentle. "David, I did this because I want to ensure your peace of mind. You deserve the best care and support, and I want to help in any way I can. But there's something more I need to say." David felt a surge of concern. "Quinn, you don't need to do that. We've already managed so much together." Quinn smiled softly, her eyes reflecting sincerity. "I understand, but this isn't about the money. It's about my commitment to you and your family. I want to be here for you, without any reservations. I don't need anything in return, and I have no intention of leaving." David was taken aback by her generosity and the depth of her commitment. "Quinn, I don't know what to say. Your support has already meant the world to me." Quinn squeezed his hand reassuringly. "You don't have to say anything. I just want you to know that I'm here for you. Always." Moved by her gesture and the sincerity behind it, David realized that Quinn's support went far beyond professional boundaries. Her actions spoke volumes about her dedication and the deep bond they had formed. It was clear that their relationship had evolved into something much more profound, one built on mutual respect, love, and unwavering support. As they sat together, the significance of the moment settled in. David felt a sense of completeness, knowing that he had not only overcome his health challenges, but had also found a true partner in Quinn. Their journey had been fraught with challenges, but it had also been filled with moments of profound connection and growth. The future now looked brighter than ever. With Quinn by his side, David felt ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. The struggles of the past had only strengthened their bond, preparing them for the new adventures and challenges that awaited. Together, they faced the horizon with confidence and hope, knowing that as long as they had each other, they could navigate any storm that came their way. In that moment, surrounded by the love of his family and the unwavering support of Quinn, David felt a profound sense of peace. The story of his life had taken an unexpected turn, but it was one that led to happiness, fulfillment, and the promise of a beautiful future together.